Um, is the secret marriage allowed in Islam without the wali and without the witnesses? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. There is no concept of a secret marriage in Islam, because on the girl side, the marriage without the wali, the guardian of the girl, it's invalid. Because one of the hadiths where the Prophet ﷺ said, the marriage of a girl without wali or the guardian is invalid. He said 3 times. The marriage is invalid. So basically, if the girl marry without the wali, without any proper guardian, not somebody who just like made up, but the guardian has to be legal. He has to be a real guardian, and it could be a elder brother, or it could be an uncle, it could be a father, it could be anyone. But if the father is alive, the first priority is her father, and then if the father is not alive, and that's uncle. If the uncle is not alive, it could be an elder brother. If his brother is not if she does not have a brother, then it could be something Islamic community leader who has to take the guardianship of the girl, and he has to handle her matter. And without a proper Sharia way, that marriage is considered as an adultery, and that woman is an adulterer, because the wali has to be there. And the permission is not permissible that he has to permit that, but rather he can interview the brother and how the things move on. And then on the brother side, there should be a witness that they are legally married according to the Sharia. But there is no concept of a secret marriage, because basically secret marriage is an adultery. It's a zina, it's a fahish, it's a zina, because there is no concept of a secret marriage. Okay, I get married you, okay, this is my ring, and I married you by the will of Allah, and I married you making Allah witness. It doesn't exist things like that. There's a proper way to do that. The wali has to be there, the witness has to be there, and those wali and that witnesses has to be a legal witnesses. It's not somebody who just walk down the street and you ask someone, okay, I'm getting married, can you be my witness? Or ask someone, okay, can you be my wali? It doesn't exist that. It has to be your father, your uncle, your brother, or any far relative. If not, then it has to be like a community Islamic leader who has to do that on the girl side. And on the boy side, it has to be man witness or the woman witness, and it has to be set up a proper way. And this should be the person, imam or someone who has the knowledge, who can recite the nikah and talk about the marriage. And this is how the ceremony is done, and it has to be properly written on the day of marriage, and who are the witnesses and who are everything. But it's not something like you just go and you sign the paper by you and the girls. This is an adultery, because there's no difference between this type of marriage, muta, or the prostitution, or the adultery. This is called an adultery. This is not an Islamic marriage. And those who go to the civil court to get married, their marriage is invalid, because that's not the Sharia law. That's the law of some like a civil court. But if it is an Islamic country, but still you have to follow the proper Sharia way, like in witnesses and the wali and the proper imam who's gonna pronounce the husband or the wife, and who's gonna recite the nikah khutbah.